music. Hi guys, today's video is going to be on Project Mr. Dose, my MR2 Turbo project car. For all you new folk, there's a link up above my head to a playlist on that car that will get you caught up on things and sitch. For everybody else, these past 2 days I've been working on and off, like throughout the day and at night and stuff, on the MR2, trying to get a lot of little things done on the car. And the biggest thing that I've been working on lately, and it's something I know like 99.9% of you are all going to be super excited about, the purple old faded window tint that was on Mr. Dose is gone. No! Well, it's almost gone. I still have probably like an hour of scraping left to do on this back window. I have to be really careful when scraping the old tint off because I can't run a razor blade over these defrost lines because I'll scrape them off. Last night I worked in the car again and I started reassembling some components on it. So what I'm doing is I'm putting back the pieces on the areas that I've already done the cut and the buff on. This isn't the finished polish. All I've gone over this area with the Jessica correcting compound. So it's been wet sanded at 1500, then 2000 grit, and then I used the compound on this area. So I was able to put the door handle back on the car. And then the best part is I have a door handle, but my door panel fits with the upgraded speakers. So that's nice, but I just realized I have to pop the thing back off again because I have to hook up my power mirrors. I'm gonna tackle that project next because I wanna get the power mirrors working on this car because it originally didn't have power mirrors, but luckily it was wired for it. Hashtag wardrobe change. Ha. Okay, power mirrors. Now, these mirrors that were on this car originally were not powered. However, I have a bunch of parts from different various power mirrors for MR2s. The car is pre-wired already, so there is a harness in the doors ready to accept the power mirrors, and I also have the switch on the driver's side door. If you see inside there, that spring that's just kind of flopping around, well, it's not supposed to be flopping around like that. Got it. Ta-da! To compress that spring is gonna be incredibly difficult. I don't know if I'm able to do that. I'm gonna see if I can swap the guts out. Over here on the driver's side, I have the door just attached electronically, so I can go ahead and test to see if this assembly over here is going to work. Here goes the moment of truth. Yeah, buddy. That's awesome. So that means I can swap over the guts from the teal blue mirror over to the good red mirror, and then I'll have working mirror guts and I don't have to try to compress that spring. So cue the work music. Here goes nothing. Let's see if this stuff works. left. Yay! This is so awesome. Yay! All right, my next plan is to get my new front lip installed. As you can see, I have the 91 Zenki lip right here that came with the car, and then here's the aftermarket 93 Kouki lip that I bought for the car. According to the interwebs here, here's a 93 to 95 USDM front lip. So this aftermarket one I have is a remake of number 1 here on the illustrated parts breakdown. So you can see all I have is this piece. What I do have is number 3 and number 2. These are the top sill plates. They're called spoiler retainers. So I do have 2 and 3, but what I'm missing is 6, 7, and 5. So I don't know if I can actually install this properly without having all these pieces. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mock up the lip to front of the car and just kind of see what I'm looking at without having those pieces. Maybe it's possible to do it without them, although I don't want this to be installed like jankily. That's a new word, I just made it up. I'm going with it, jankily. We're gonna take a look at the bottom of the car. I'm taking you with me. When I say we, I don't have a mouse in my pocket, I'm talking to you. I wish I had a mouse in my pocket, it'd be really cute. I don't know what I'd name him. Oof, okay. So looking at the bottom of the car, you can see right here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, here's all, there's 5. These are all the mounting points for the front lip. My biggest concern with installing this front lip is if you look, the inner fender well plastic has a taberdoodle right there, and there's one missing right here. It's supposed to attach right there. These are supposed to attach to the factory front lip. If you look at this aftermarket lip, there's no mounting points right here, but on the factory one there's 2 right there. That's where that inner fender well attaches to. I might possibly be able to just drill 2 holes in here, but what it looks like is there might not have enough material on the inside of this lip. That is horrible fitment. Absolutely horrible. If you look at it from underneath, look, this is the lip and this is where it should mount up. Project car problems, I tell you. Morning, people. It's the next morning. I am going to get back to work on the MR2. First, I gotta move Gump outside so I can have some room in here. I just found out last night the Battle of the Builders thing that I went to judge. You guys, if you're new to my channel, I went to SEMA to judge the Battle of the Builders Young Guns competition. Anyway, I just saw it was on TV Monday night. It released. I was on the episode for like a second. So weird. I didn't know I was gonna be like on it. That's so cool. I'm on TV. Yay. Time to get back to work. I'm gonna see if I can fabricate this front lip and make it work for the car. Cue the work music. Come on, captive taberdoodle. This captured nut plate right here, see how it's got like this triangle shape to it and it spreads out the entire shape of this plastic tab? Well, the whole purpose of this is to reinforce this tab so that way if you accidentally catch your front lip on something, it doesn't just rip this tab, which without this being in place and having the captured nut where it's supposed to be, I'm gonna have a high risk of doing that and destroying the whole bumper. Part of me doesn't want to put this front lip on there. Like, it goes against my best judgment as a mechanic to not do things like proper. And I don't know, part of me just feels like this isn't proper, putting this aftermarket knockoff front lip on here. But all the ones I can find online for sale are just beat up and like spray painted and look like crap. And this one is like new ABS plastic, so it's a trade-off. It's the downfall of when you work on cars, it's hard to get parts for them. After a quick trip to the hardware store, I got me a bag of hardware. And as you can see, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my captive nut plates on the lip. I'll also have one here. I gotta figure out which hole it is. And then for these center ones right here, what I'm going to do is I have stainless steel hardware. I'm gonna take these guys and go down real quick and show you. I'm going to double up washers on these new holes that I drilled on the top and the bottom to add strength and structural rigidity to this area. So that way if I catch the lip on something or any forces push on the lip, I'll have metal creating that much bigger of a surface area. Kind of like what these original captive nut plates did. This is where it's gonna need a lot of help to try to get it to line up. I mean, it looks like it's possible, but it's gonna be difficult. What I ended up doing was I put 2 pair of vice grips between these 2 bolt points. That way I can squeeze the plastic down and flatten it as much as possible. It'll force the material that way, since this one is already tight and this one is loose. And by forcing the plastic that way, by closing this gap, it should minimize my chances of having a sag in the lip and then being able to see light going through between the bumper and the front lip. See, like right here, you can see the gap. Well, that will cause it to not fit right here. So I need to squish this material as much as possible. That way by the time I get to the end, it's nice and tight and it will line up on the ends. A lot of the time when you install aftermarket parts like this, they're just replicas of OE stuff. There's a lot of, I don't want to say fabrication, but a lot of finessing to get the parts to fit like a factory part should. Especially for the fact that I don't have the center brackets that the Kouki model front lip should have. Almost done. This corner was bugging me because it was like just sticking out just a tiny bit in contrast to the other side. So I'm gonna try to loosen it. I'm like, this is so hard to concentrate and think of what I'm doing. Ta-da! I got it on. It doesn't look that bad. I know it's from far away right now, don't worry, I'll show you up close. But dude, this thing's starting to look like a car now. Well, the light turned off. All jokes aside, I gotta give this knockoff front lip some credit. It actually doesn't fit too terrible. It took a lot of work to get it to fit good, but you can see right here there's a slight gap, and you can see the nut retaining doodad clip sticking through a little bit. I think I could notch out the plastic just slightly and recess it and you wouldn't see that. And as far as right here goes, that's not very bad. I think the factory lip probably would have similar fitment right there too. The only problem area I see is right here. There's a little bit of a gap between the lip and the bumper. Really minimal though, it's not too terrible. The body line does flow and it keeps going up like it should. There's very minimal gaps in between, so it's not too wavy. And then if you look all the way down there, it doesn't look bad up close. That's a nice tight seam right there. The gap isn't too bad. But yeah, I don't think that's too bad for it being a knockoff. Looks halfway decent, I think. I'm so excited, it's actually starting to look like a car now. At least this side is. The other side still needs a lot of work. I'm trying to make as much progress as I can on this car and slide in the bulk of the wet sanding and buffing into these videos. I would say I have at least 50 hours of wet sanding and buffing onto this car already, and a lot more to go. So I'm gonna keep doing it, but I'm gonna include it in content with other stuff like how I did the front lip and taking off the window tint and stuff. That way it's not boring for you guys. So I'll see you soon with another video. Bye.